Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you are all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And the stage 1 major is in the books. We do have a champion. It is Atlanta FaZe. This came in a fashion that I was not personally expecting. We go into this championship Sunday expecting a number of banger matches. They honestly went pretty convincingly, pretty much all of them. The grand finals got competitive at times, but FaZe certainly looking like the best team in the game right now, and certainly some spice to go through in this video today. Enjoy, take your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you were new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. Let's get into things then. So these were the matches of the day. Empire versus FaZe in the winners finals. Subliners would try and do their best to make it all the way to the grand finals through that losers bracket run. This I thought was interesting from CleanX. Talks about his championship Sunday streak staying alive. I think the last time he missed a Sunday, a championship Sunday, was Fort Worth way back in 2019, March 2019. It's like 2 years ago. It's been since he has missed a Sunday. He makes it work again. RC's in the reply right here talking about that exact occasion and well setting themselves up nicely for this day. This is also very interesting. We're going to definitely talk about this in more detail tomorrow. This decision to make it so the grand finals do not give a 1-0 advantage as they did at the World Championship last year. Effectively meaning, if you come from a winner's bracket, you have no tangible advantage in these grand finals over the team that comes from losers and has already lost a series. Didn't affect FaZe right here, but certainly something we should talk about tomorrow because there's been a lot of discussion about this. And as Octane says, who is winning today? Chicken Little, Crimsix, Clay plus school friends. Well, ends up being the Tiny Terrors. These were the map vetoes for the first series of the day. Pretty interesting they actually showed the map vetoes. I was glad to see this. We can actually see which teams have banned certain maps in the map vetoes, so we can see how that's going on. Thought that was certainly a step up in terms of production quality. Then we go into the actual series though. So Simp just completely turned up this game one. Interesting to see a lot of Crossroads hardpoint being played lately because we haven't seen too much of it to be honest so far this season, but right here it's been played in a number of series these last couple of days, and well, FaZe come out absolutely swinging in game number 1. Simp goes like 32 in 23 towards the end of the map to close it out. Then we go into the game 2 and this was pretty funny from Method. Simp is top green. Alright, I'm going underground. Oh, you say aBeZy's underground. Okay, I got the plat. Cellium's in gold watching plat. Okay, I'm going veds. Oh my god. RC's at new. I got scrap time boys. I mean, it's obviously just such a scary team. I think this really sums up the day, to be honest, with Method decides yeah, how dominant this team is at the present time. And well, it certainly continues. We go into a Miami search and destroy, and they were completely untouchable. aBeZy especially, this ace was just ridiculous. Like, he does it all, man. He gets so many first bloods, typically with the 74U. You give him an XM4, and he's still popping first bloods, he's popping aces, he's getting 2 pieces all across the map. There was nothing that Dallas Empire could do. I mean, it was just ridiculous. They were getting picked apart, and the search and destroys, especially, honestly, when we go on to look at the grand finals, this of course was still the winners finals, definitely went in the favor of the Atlanta FaZe, and well, just such a dominant team at the present time. It's pretty remarkable to see what they're able to do. aBeZy goes 14 in 4 with 5 first bloods, just absolutely unbelievable stuff, and then they pretty much dominate the control as well, win this 3-0 on the raid to take the entire series. I mean, a 3-0 as quick as you like from Atlanta FaZe against a Dallas Empire team that have looked so solid these last few days. I mean, if FaZe are looking like this, they are basically untouchable right now, and this is the team we maybe expected to see at the start of the season, weren't necessarily seeing in the early online scene, but now, well, here they are coming to play. You know, what a scary squad. So they move on to the grand finals. 6'8" on the map, says Corona CDL Intel. I mean, a 1.33 KD over the course of it from aBeZy in this series, and well, Simp certainly came to play in the final one as well. So there was really a big question, right? Are Dallas just playing awfully? Like, what's going on here? Are FaZe actually this good? So they go down to the losers to play against the Subliners team, which has been looking so hot these last couple of days. 3-0ing OpTic Chicago, of course, that we talked about in yesterday's video. But well, it's honestly, Dallas Empire, they turn up big time, right? Really interesting to see Huke, after getting completely shut down against FaZe, he comes up massive here against the New York Subliners, and they win another series in a 3-0 fashion. So the question was, okay, are FaZe playing good or are Dallas just playing bad? Well, clearly Dallas still have something in them, right? Given the fact that they're actually 3-0ing a team like the Subliners. So it's not like Dallas were playing badly today. It's just that FaZe, in my opinion, were on a complete another level, especially in their search and destroy we're going to talk about when we look at the grand finals. I mean, look at this from Merc. He had 42 kills, that being Huke in the entire FaZe series. Drops 40 in the game 1 in this one. Then they go up 2-0. ILLey with a crazy round 11, 1 versus 1. This was some real ice on display here from ILLey. So it's a 1 versus 1. He spots CleanX, goes towards the bomb to fake the defuse, and knows he has just enough time. CleanX is going to be forced to push him because there's been so many ninja defuses so far, really. The Major, the Super Weak, all this type of stuff. Then ILLey peaks at the perfect moment to pick it up. I think my stream was having some lag and issues. I'm not sure if it was the same for you guys in this round 11, so I wasn't really sure what was happening, but well, Priestahh unfortunately loses out on this one. The ice from the guys on the Dallas Empire, they win checkmate, search and destroy, moving up 6-5 in the map, 2-0 in the series, and well, then we go into this control, also on checkmate. This was a pretty remarkable one, right? It looked like Dallas were going to close it out. Then there was a 1 versus 1. Who else but Priestahh versus Crimsix? Clay has so long he has to cap this point for. Crim can just take all the time in in the world to just waltz around the map. He probably has like an entire minute if you wanted, just to run around the map and take pot shots at Clay. And yeah, definitely an advantage for the defense in that situation. However, as the result says, Crim just tried to straight disrespect him. We see him right here flying out of the plane. This from Crim trying to hit this out of the plane to take down Clayster. Doesn't happen, as you can see right here, right at the very end. The 1 versus 1, Crim versus Clayster. Pretty incredible stuff. And well, Clay just takes down Crim, no problem at all, just trying to fly out this window. Completely trying to disrespect Clay, like ego challenge him, I suppose. And well, Clayster just picks her out of the sky. And well, they win that round. Almost got back into the map, but it doesn't happen. As Crim says, you know, what were you thinking right there? Hold D's are, you know, unfortunate lads. Let's just go into the next round. They do end up taking it out. Huke goes massive in the final round. They take the series 3-0. 6 maps happened on the day, and already 2 series had gone by. Then we go, of course, into the grand finals. But as you can see, the slaying on the side of Dallas was very impressive, right? Clearly showing that they are a very dominant team when they actually don't face a team like Atlanta FaZe. I mean, plus 19 for Crimsix in this one. Huke had a great finish off to the series. And well, honestly, the slaying from the New York Subliners just wasn't there, especially given how good Diamond Con was yesterday. Definitely a lackluster series by his standards. But as I say, then we get on to the final one of the day. FaZe rematch against the Dallas Empire. And well, as we talked about, right, there's no 1-0 advantage for whatever reason. We're going to discuss that in more detail tomorrow, exactly why that might exactly be, why they've made this decision. But FaZe, well, they don't sweat it at all, and they completely come out swinging in this series. This was the map set for the series. I've no idea why it isn't centering properly on my screen, but as you can see, a very long series, a best of 9 on paper, but it certainly does not go the distance. aBeZy in game number 1 completely took over this Moscow hardpoint. I mean, he had a crazy 3-piece right here. They managed to close it out, a game that Dallas have been looking pretty strong on. They did get an opportunity to come back into the game, but Atlanta closed it out right at the very end, in the death, to be honest. They dominate the last 3 hills to take that 1-0 advantage you can argue they should have got already from the CDL by coming from the winner's bracket. Then we go into the game 2, and this was where really FaZe just started to, well, show a different caliber, to be honest, especially in the Search and Destroy. A couple of very interesting rounds in this one. There was a crazy clutch situation with Shotzzy versus Cellium. Shotzzy manages to clutch it up. They go down 6-3 in this in the end. Crim gets taken down, and well, this was the closest that Dallas ever came in this entire series to winning a Search and Destroy. I mean, these FaZe guys' S&D is just on another level. So much more discipline, so much more team play, like seems so much better set up. There was many occasions really, especially towards the latter half of these Search and Destroys, where the Dallas guys were getting picked off one by one. There were no trades in sight. The trades pretty much always there for FaZe, very rarely even making mistakes. I mean, a Simp and aBeZy, especially in terms of getting first bloods, playing as a team, winning individual one-on-one gunfights, making flanks at opportune moments. All these types of facets of their Search and Destroy were just way better than what Dallas Empire were to be able to produce, and well, honestly, clearly, so much better than what any other team in the game right now can produce in these Search and Destroys. We saw it not too long ago against OpTic Gaming, like 12-1 round counts in the 2 Search and Destroys they played against them. Here against the Dallas Empire over, I'm pretty sure 3 Search and Destroys, it was very much a similar thing. The Major so far, as I say after this map, they're 8-0 map count of the Major. They 3-0'd LAG, 3-0 Dallas in the winners finals, 2-0 up in the grand final. The incredible levels they were hitting, to be honest. I wasn't expecting them to bring this level of dominance. I mean, as I say right here, then they win the control, going for the speed run. I mean, they completely decimate this. This was on Garrison control, 17-5 for Cellium. I mean, the slaying power just not there at all for the Dallas Empire, completely wiped off the map. They lost, they lost a couple of defenses. They lost an offense as well, right to the very end of it. But having gone down 3-0, Dallas, to their credit, did find a bit of, clutch factor when it mattered. They actually go to a checkmate hardpoint and completely dominate this one, right? I was wondering, okay, if they accidentally flip the names of the players or something on either team, because why are Dallas actually dominating this one? They go up massively early on and hold on to a 250-104 victory in the end. So fair play to them. But then, of course, we go back to Search and Destroy, and this was a Search and Destroy which pretty much is a classic at the present time. We see this again and again and again throughout the entire series, where FaZe are just completely dominating. You can see right here they go up 4-0 in the map. Crimsix is getting chased down towards this side. Simp takes him down, already on a 4 streak at the time, closes this out for the 5 streak, and puts a little bit of extra love into the body, and they certainly continued this in the final rounds of the entire tournament that we'll look at in a couple of minutes time here. But yeah, I'm not sure there's a clip of that one exactly, but this certainly does show what Atlanta FaZe are feeling at the time. Their Search and Destroy just completely on another level. Dallas were not able to match it by any means. They got up 4-1. As you can see, Switchy made this graphic right here. He actually made it a 7-1 to Atlanta FaZe, which is effectively what it felt like, to be honest. I mean, yeah, this map especially was not close, just completely speedrunning the Empire. However, they do actually choke around, right? FaZe show they have, some chinks in the armor, I suppose. They go over here to raid control once again after 3-0ing Dallas in that opening series. Here they are, the first round especially. They go up a massive life advantage. They go up by 7-8 lives right at the start of their offense, but somehow Dallas show some ice and close out the round. So clearly Dallas weren't exactly playing poorly. The Search and Destroy wasn't exactly pretty. Many mistakes being made in that one. In the respawns, they were certainly competitive. FaZe certainly showing that they are human after all, but well, Dallas, it just wasn't enough, especially when you have to come from this map back into a search and destroy. And the very first round of this one, it was a 4 versus 2 for FaZe. Looked like they were going to close it out no problem. Crim gets a massive 2-piece, finishes off with 3, and well, they go up 1-0 in the map. However, FaZe completely turned it around from there. I think this was the first time that, I think it was Dallas, had played this map this entire season. Simp pops this crazy 3-piece right here. The very round after this, he clutches a 1v2 up against Crimsix and Huke. That was really a tide changer, to be honest. aBeZy getting first bloods all across the park. Honestly, remarkable stuff. And the very final round, as Jacob points out right here, FaZe was trying to assassinate Crimsix to close out the entire tournament. Simp was shooting a load of bodies. They were trying to flank him. They were basically mocking Crimsix to finish off the job. Trying to get a bit of revenge, I'm sure, for their World Championship defeat to Crim this time last year. But Arcitys was billed to come into this team and make this team a championship winning squad. Last year, FaZe had issues closing out their tournaments. They would go to a grand final, they would go to a key moment, and they wouldn't quite get over the line. Arcitys was meant to come into this team as their main assault rifle, as the leader, to keep these guys calm, keep them ready to go, make sure they didn't choke in the big moments. And here we are at a grand final of a major tournament against the reigning world champions, and they do the job in style. 8-2 map count over Dallas Empire throughout the day. They're honestly remarkable. FaZe hitting levels I didn't think were possible, especially this early on in the season. And there we have it. FaZe are your stage 1 champions, taking home $200,000, I believe, between them. And these were the final placings for the major. FaZe in first, Empire in second, Sublime is in third, OpTic of course in fourth, and these other teams we will talk about, I'm sure, in the coming days, because maybe some roster changes are on the horizons for some of these squads, but I'm sure a lot of these teams are going to say, okay, let's just have a look at how FaZe are playing Search and Destroy and see if there is any way we can possibly replicate that. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow with some more drama and talking points from this past weekend, and I'm sure going forwards this week, it's going to be a pretty interesting one for sure, but we do have a bit of a break until the next major. So, the next major begins on March the 18th, so we have this entire week off, and then the following Thursday after that, the matches do begin for what they're calling the Toronto Ultra Home Series for the start of Stage 2, with the next major about this time next month. It's really to hear your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. You enjoyed this content, and people like you may enjoy this content as well, and I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always, take care, and I will see you next time.